Hey, what is up, Internet? This is Kyle with Slapshot Toys doing another Marvel Select action figure review. Tonight we're going to be taking a look at the Marvel Cinematic Universe Doctor Strange. And here is Stephen Strange out of the packaging, and this thing is incredible. The sculpt is wonderfully detailed. It really captures Doctor Strange's look from the film. The articulation is a little bit lacking, but we'll get to that here in a second. But first, I'm going to go ahead and take a look at the amazing accessories that we do get with this figure. First thing I want to take a look at is this amazing base. I think this is by far the best and coolest base I've ever received from Diamond Select. I mean, this thing is just absolutely stunning. But taking a closer look at it, I mean, they have this like kind of stained glass effect here on the back of the base with the window, and this just looks absolutely phenomenal. All this line work in here, so this is just like kind of a clear plastic, and then they have all this paint work. I mean, just look how intricate everything there in the center is. You have like the little kind of plastic work here going, making the symbol there. That looks really fantastic. You have all these sculpted lines all throughout, all around the edges. That looks wonderful. And then you come down here to the actual base itself, and you have all the little incantation symbols and logos and everything. That just looks absolutely stunning. And I mean, there's so much going on here, and I don't know how well the camera is actually getting it, but all the little details around the rim, this thing just looks absolutely amazing. And this just sets this piece apart from any other Diamond Select I've ever gotten. As far as accessories, Diamond Select has given us 3 different sets of hands. So we have these open hands, we have the spell hands, which I call the rock-on hands, and then the closed fists. But taking a closer look, these things are sculpted absolutely beautifully. I mean, the paint detail of the flesh tones came out really good. But the thing I love, and I don't know how well the camera's picking it up, but it actually really has that scarring effect there from all the surgeries on the back of the fingers. I mean, these things, I just can't believe they got that detail on these for the price point of this figure and kind of how small these hands are. But if you look, especially kind of there on the ring finger, I mean, there's a lot of that detail of the scarring from his surgeries, and that looks just absolutely fantastic. And the other accessory we are given is this kind of spell effect. And this thing looks really cool. As you can see, it's all detailed out there in the center. A lot like the base, you get like all the incantation symbols and logos, everything all sculpted out there. It looks really cool. And it actually just fits on the open hand. And you just slide the fingers. There's a couple little holes here in the back. You just slide the fingers in there. It actually holds pretty well. But just a kind of a cool use of an accessory to show some of the spells and everything from the movie. Taking a closer look at the figure itself, I really feel that Diamond Select did a fantastic job capturing the look of Benedict Cumberbatch from the film, especially like here in the cheeks and jaw. I think in the eyes especially, I think it, as much as it can for a figure at this price point, looks really good. I love all the sculpting that they did here throughout the hair. I think that looks absolutely fantastic. You can get like the little strands there covering his forehead. That looks really cool. Love all the different browns, dark browns, light browns that they used in the hair. That looks really good. Going over here to the side, you have like the kind of gray highlights. That looks fantastic. The cloak is what really kind of sets this figure off for me. I absolutely love all the details that they put into it. As you can see here, there's this nice little detail along the edge. Even up here in the shoulder, they have it all detailed out with like the little different textures. And I love that kind of dark burgundy and light red mix that they have going on. That looks fantastic. And as you can see, this edging goes all the way down the cloak. That looks fantastic. Going back here to the back, you have a lot of different types of textures. You have like almost like that patchwork kind of feel that the cloak had in the movie. They sculpted all that out beautifully. Kind of this different texture up here around the collar. Then you have like that kind of quilted material down here. And then this is a fairly nice rubbery material that moves a little bit, isn't too terribly stiff, but it still is a nice material for them to use. And then going down here to the cloaks, so you get like all the different layers all sculpted out. That looks fantastic. The pendant looks absolutely wonderful. Love all the belts that they have. Those look really, really good. Really like this bottom one here with the light, with the kind of turquoise and that really nice fabric, ropey kind of texture that they sculpted out. That looks brilliant. Coming down here to the arms, not a whole lot going on, just some kind of like the bagginess of the fabric detailed out there. And then you get some bands around the forearm. And then coming down a little bit low, so they actually did make a couple different layers here. And once again, this cloak is the real nice soft rubber material, but I really like the different layers that they sculpted out there. It gives it some nice dimension feel to it. And then coming down the legs, same thing as the arms. Not a whole lot going on there. It's more just kind of like the baggy clothing. And then if we come down to the boots, we get the straps underneath the bands, and then a little bit of detail there on the front of the toe, and then the bottom is just some boot tread. Taking a closer look at the articulation of the figure, I feel like this is where it kind of loses momentum just a little bit. As far as head rotation, he can rotate side to side, but it is limited just a little bit by the cloak collar. He can look up just a slight amount, because once again, you get stopped by the collar, and he can look down just a small amount, so not a whole lot of rotation or movement in the head. As far as his arms, his right arm can go all the way out 90 degrees to his body. There's a single joint there at the elbow, and his wrist does rotate and can move up and down. Now, as far as his left hand, it is limited by this cloak right there, so you can only go about that far before it actually starts to hit that cloak. He does have the same single joint there at the elbow, and then the same wrist rotation. There is rotation here at the waist, and as far as leg articulation, it is a little bit limited just because of the robe. He can do the splits out about there before the robe starts to pull. He can kick forward just a little bit, about that far before the robe starts to limit that. He is double jointed here at the knee, but unfortunately it's a bit tough to be able, with all the different cloak and the robes, you really can't utilize both joints, and that's about as far as I can get it to move back. As far as foot articulation, he can rock back and forth at the ankle. And then there is that ankle rocker here at the bottom, which I absolutely love. So that is going to do it for my review of the Marvel Select Doctor Strange from the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I really like this figure. I think the detailing on it and the stand and the accessories is phenomenal. Now keep in mind that the articulation is extremely limited because some of the design choices that they use for the rubber robes and cloak. But other than that, if you're looking for a very budget-friendly Doctor Strange, a little bit more of kind of like a statue-esque type figure that has a ton of detailing and really, I think, captures the look of Benedict Cumberbatch from the Doctor Strange movie, I think this is a wonderful piece to pick up. Like I said, just for the base alone, I absolutely love this figure and all the detailing and everything that they put into it. I really think it looks like the Doctor Strange from the movie, and I think it's a wonderful, even with the articulation issues aside, I think this is a wonderful Doctor Strange piece that if you collect Doctor Strange figures and memorabilia, this is something you definitely want to add to your collection. So once again, that is going to do it for me this evening. I want to thank you guys so much for checking out these videos. It really does mean a lot that you guys watch them. If you guys did like this video, make sure you guys go ahead and hit that like button. Let me know in the comments what you guys thought of the Doctor Strange movie, what you thought of this figure, what you think of Marvel's Select line in general. Love to hear from you guys. Love to talk Doctor Strange. Love to talk anything figures. And go ahead and make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. That should be popping up here in a few seconds. That way you guys miss on any future content, as well as the Doctor Strange Hot Toy review that once that comes out here in the summer, I will have that up and ready to go, as well as a couple other reviews. I'm going to a few cons here real shortly, so I hope to have some kind of con videos coming up. So a lot of cool things. So make sure you guys go ahead and subscribe. Check out a couple of the old videos that are now popping up. And that will do it for me this evening. So I want to thank you guys so much once again, and I'll catch you guys later. See ya.